So before prepping our part for print, we need to download the Prusa slicer software. Or you can also use the Makerspace computer, has the software on it. So we'll go to Prusa slicer. And select the appropriate download for your system. So now that we have the Prusa slicer open, we'll take a look at doing our first kind of quick print. The slicer software is actually fairly robust and can do a lot of things, but we will just cover the very basics at the moment. So I'll come up to File and Import STL, and I'm going to bring in this prickle. When I bring it in, if I look over at the right-hand tab here, we can see the location and the size in millimeters. So the current size is pretty large. I'm gonna reduce this down to 30 millimeters. You can also reduce it with the scale tab. And if I select outside of my part, I can deselect it. So if I want to select it again, I just select the part. And if I want to rotate views, I can hold both the left and right mouse button down, and it will rotate. Some other quick changes we can make is we can modify the location with these tabs over here. So if I grab the tab, I can move it around. We can do a quick scale modify by selecting these and dragging them. Same applies to rotate. We can snap to certain faces on the build plate. So if I think that it will print best with this face, I can snap to that face. I don't think that would print best, so I'm going to go back and select my part again, the face, and that face there. Rotate around. And you also have the ability to cut this part in half and make two separate parts if you choose. The last thing I'll check or do a quick rundown is the print settings. So you can have like a very higher resolution print down to the lowest draft setting. I'm going to go somewhere in between and do the 0.15 quality print. And it asks us if we want to discard changes and revert back to the original. That's fine, or we can use the changes that were there. So I'm going to go, and the changes I'm going to make is I'm going to add supports everywhere. I find that this prints a little bit better. And I'm going to add a brim. I also find that helps the print to stay on the table. Feel free to experiment with these. If you don't use supports, there's a chance that some of this geometry will fail as it's printing. But there's also a chance that it won't, and it actually comes out nicer. The printer that we're using will always be the Prusa, and the filament that we're using will always be PLA, and the color is not particularly important. So at this point, we can check one more thing. We'll take a look at the layers. So we have a layers preview tab here, and we can see exactly what our print will look like. So you can see all of these green elements are the supports, and this brown element out here is the brim. You can scroll down and see the individual layers. We'll go back to our standard view, and we're going to go ahead and export this G-code. Save it as. I'm going to be saving this on the SD card that goes to the Prusa printer. We have a bunch in the Makerspace, so you don't have to bring your own. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And the last thing to note is down at the bottom screen here, it gives us our material usage and the amount of time that it should take.